Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines. Bitcoin to 100,000. We're going to hear about it. Real world asset tokenization. How about XRP ETFs? Imagine that. And how about this? XRP is bullish AF. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, it's $2.65 trillion market cap for cryptocurrency. The market is up 2.1 in the last 24 hours, 67,200 plus for Bitcoin, 3,800 plus for Ethereum, and we see $100 plus billion market cap for Tether. XRP is still at number 7 spot at 62 cents plus, up 4.4 in the 24 hour and up 3.9 in the 7 days. So you could see XRP decided after that back test that they're like, XRP's like, you know what? We got a little more gas in the tank. We're going to keep moving. We'll keep an eye on it. And you're going to like what we see today before we get out of here. Ranging between 59 and 62 cents. We will keep an eye on it. I want to tell you right now, because gold is surging to record highs. This is why I tell you about Glint Pay. You can have gold on your MasterCard, debit card, or you could buy physical gold, and you could do that with the best deals. And it's gold, silver, platinum, palladium, you name it. They got it. It's at Miles Franklin. All you have to do is info@milesfranklin.com and then put in the subject box dig gold. That special will give you that code will give you the break best prices for anything they're offering, all precious metals. So make sure you reach out to them and tell them that I said come on in. By the way, I want to also tell you very quickly, Andy Schechtman's going to be on stage with Miles Franklin and Lynette Zhang on stage at XRP Las Vegas. We're going to talk about CBDCs and stable coins and gold and tokenization. It's going to be a great conversation. I want to touch this very quickly because I went to Grok, because we know we covered that Prometheum is said that they're going to list Ethereum as a security. Now, we also reported in the first video from this morning, if you haven't seen it yet, that the CFTC chairman, Rostin Benham, Rostin Benham, who said that, acknowledged that it is likely that Prometheum has come out. They have come out, and it said they plan to list Ethereum as a security. And this is interesting because I went to Grok and I said, hey, let's find out what's going on here if ETH were to be listed. I said, if Ethereum were to be found a security, it would. I asked the question, what would happen if that happened? And it said it would have significant implications for the cryptocurrency market and its investors. Here are some potential consequences. Regulatory compliance. Ethereum would be subject to stricter regulations and oversight. And let me open this up in case you guys want to read it for yourself. The SEC. It said this would require Ethereum-based projects, platforms to comply with securities laws, which could limit their operations and increase costs. Market impact. The classification of Ethereum as a security could lead to a decline in its value, and as it would be subject to more stringent rules and might be delisted from certain exchanges that do not support the trading of securities. This could also create uncertainty and volatility in the cryptocurrency market. Legal implications. If Ethereum is deemed a security, it could face legal challenges from investors who may claim they were misled or suffered losses due to non-compliance with securities laws. This could lead to lawsuit settlements that could further impact the value of Ethereum and impact of decentralized finance. Let me just open this up a little further here so we can get to it. And here we go. One second. There we go. It'll open up. I'll scroll it here in a second. There we go. So now we get to the impact of decentralized finance, and it says here, Ethereum is the backbone of many DeFi projects which are designed to offer financial services without intermediaries. If Ethereum is classified as a security, it could have a ripple effect on the entire DeFi ecosystem, potentially limiting its growth and innovation. International implications. The U.S. SEC decision on Ethereum status could influence regulatory decisions in other countries as well, leading to a global impact on the cryptocurrency market and its participants. Shift in focus. Ethereum community might have to shift its focus from developing decentralized applications, smart contracts, to ensuring compliance with securities regulations. Now, this could slow down innovation and development of new use cases for Ethereum. So let's just for a second let's just for a second talk about a couple things here. One, if this plays out this way and Grok's anywhere close to being right, this is going to cause a huge, huge problem for the network, right? And let us understand, it would put a lot more weight on the understanding that Persist is building that bridge from the Ethereum virtual machine to the XRP ledger, would it not? I would also like to add, maybe that's why Ripple decided to not push forward with smart contracts, right? In light of what the focus is, the shift in focus here in smart contracts applications ensuring compliance with securities regulations, what if smart contracts themselves are just considered securities because they're smart contracts? All of a sudden, Ripple's looking really super smart for not literally littering the ledger with all kinds of different ideas and projects. That's why I've said multiple times, it might be best that XRP has held back, or Ripple has held back on launching a lot of stable coins and smart contracts and things of that like, because look at what we're looking at here, the potential fallout for Ethereum. In summary, if Ethereum were found to be a security, it would face increased scrutiny, potentially leading to a decline in its value and a slowdown in growth of the cryptocurrency market and DeFi ecosystem. And boy, I tell you, I think that's probably an understatement for sure. We'll have to see how far this goes, but you know, this story is not yet completely written, ladies and gentlemen. Let's understand that, right? Let's really make sure there's more to this. There's a few chapters left here on this, but let's get to this now, because this is Mike Novogratz from Galaxy Digital here talking about Bitcoin going to 100,000 this year.
Prudency right now.
A report card on fiscal prudency. Mike, you talked about 69,000, the next way stations and points on the road. 100,000 this year?
I think so. I really do. Again, I can't tell you if we're going to go through 69 in the next day, week, or 2 months. It wouldn't surprise me if we take it out, but it also wouldn't surprise me if we bounce between 58 and 69,000 until some of this buying gets digested, and then the next move up. It's really hard to say right now because there's just this almost like this runaway momentum in these ETFs. I mean, they've raised $7.5 billion of new capital, and it just keeps coming in.
Yeah, and yours, by the way, for our viewers, is the Invesco Galaxy Bitcoin ETF BTCO. Really quick, because again,
we got it. We know where it is. So he's calling for it. He doesn't know when, but he's calling for it. We'll see what happens there. We know there's a huge market opened up to people that did not want access to this space unless it was through ETFs. So it has been a resounding success, and we will see how long that continues, but it's likely to continue. The tokenization of real-world assets will undoubtedly be one of the biggest innovations that modern financial history has ever experienced. And both individuals and institutions are beginning to discover its opportunities. No question about that. But let's not get the cart in front of the horse, because we know we have to have clarity, legislative clarity. But before we get there, I want to share this with you. This is a gentleman here from TikTok I used to follow. I cannot remember his name right this second, but I just love his energy. Super smart guy. And if you're on TikTok, and I'm not anymore these days because of the terms of service issues, but if you are, this guy's fantastic. I really do enjoy his insights. I want you to hear what he says about ETFs for not only Bitcoin, but then he leads into the idea of ETFs for XRP, and then I have something to tie into that.
When that spot ETF gets passed, they are going to put a massive amount of pressure on these exchanges because they have to take that Bitcoin off the exchanges. They now have to self-custody that. They cannot have a spot ETF and work it if they don't own the asset. So they are going to come and start scooping up Bitcoin. Oh my God. When they scoop this Bitcoin up, it is going to put pressure. There's going to be less of it in the market. Why is Chase asking for XRP? XRP is the banker's coin. Watch this. Banks that use Ripple, Bank of America, second largest bank in the United States. Bank of America is already using XRP's technology. PNC Bank is using Ripple's technology. Siam Bank, Santander Bank, you get the idea. Standard Chartered Bank, QLX in Mexico. There's like, man, if I wish I find that other list, there's like like 60, 70 banks.
And it's a lot of banks. He's absolutely right. And I mean, shout out to this guy. I cannot remember his name. It drives me crazy. He's so good. But give him a follow if you're on TikTok, The Power of Publish. Nevertheless, what I wanted to bring up here is think about what he was saying and the understanding of the ETFs. It is the institutions buying up the digital assets off of the exchanges to back the fund that is being sold. And they're putting it all into custody. Couldn't we, understanding that, XRP in and of itself is not a security. It has legal clarity. I know there's a piece to the case to finish here, but it is not a security, right? That we know. Imagine an ETF for XRP, spot ETF for XRP at this point. Isn't that process the institutions buying the assets off of the centralized exchanges? Isn't that a form? Couldn't we see that if we wanted to as a really like a form of the Shane Ellis theory? Where they stair-step buy out the market and they buy out the order books up to certain prices. But they're letting you do it with your money. Isn't it? It's food for thought here. I want to float it out there, and I'm looking forward to hearing your comments here. But this could be a more polished version of the Shane Ellis theory and how they use ETFs to soak up all the digital assets themselves off of the centralized exchanges. Looking right here, pointing to the fact that we need clarity all around the world, and it looks like we're very close to getting it in a lot of places. A coordinated approach between His Majesty's Treasurer Bank of England, the Financial Conduct Authority here, could help the UK develop regulations that allows cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, right, CBDCs alike, to coexist. That's where we're going, ladies and gentlemen, and we see it here as well. This is even further evidence of how deep it's going in UK here. The budget statement for the UK, embracing blockchain for sovereign debt management. Blockchain and other distributed ledger technologies for sovereign debt management. This is where I remind you that Bank of England has been a paying partner and customer for Ripple for years. Many, many years. Hong Kong launches wholesale CBDC project to support tokenization and tokenized deposits. This is more, this is what I'm saying. Real world asset tokenization, a lot of people are saying really going to begin in mass this year at some point. Well, if that happens, we have to have legal clarity. I don't see how that starts to happen without the legal clarity for stable coins and CBDCs. That's just my thought on the matter. So we'll see how that develops. But this is a reminder of what we covered yesterday of how one of the largest banks in Germany is in fact using Medico and Harmonize for their digital asset solution, and that is hugely popular. It also points to the fact, as it's said here by Smoke, the launch of digital asset trading platform DZ Bank is a direct indication of cryptocurrencies coming to the mainstream. Yep. And here's a reminder that before it comes to the mainstream, it always goes to the extremely wealthy institutional investors first. It's the top down. I don't like it either, but it's the top down. And the best thing we can do is figure out how to get ourselves and our family to the top. Then we can try to sort it out, but it is. It's always the top down first. And overall, it will be good anyway, because institutional investors are where the deep money comes from, right? So huge, huge, huge. So then there was this. I thought this was very interesting. We'll wrap this. It's the Standard Chartered's venture embraces public blockchain, and it looks like they're doing something very similar to what Anthony Welfare is doing, the advisor from Ripple, who has a Better Business Bureau credit check kind of blockchains. And this looks like that as well. In January's Moody issued the first blockchain fund rating for tokens issued by Singapore's FundBridge Capital. So this is really getting interesting, where you start get these, fund rating, Better Business Bureau, right? Credit rating of the blockchains like Anthony Welfare's project. This is really bringing that whole, make sure you're working on a regulated protocol, not a dark web protocol. That tells me how close we're getting, ladies and gentlemen. And before we get out of here, let's look at this. It's none other than Egg Rag Crypto here. He says that XRP 3 months candle is bullish AF, and goes on to say here that it could, analysts see XRP soaring to a high of $1.27 before the closing of the current candle. However, this $1.27 high is expected to align with a major resistance point stationed at an upper trend line for multi-year symmetrical, which you can see that is the multi-year symmetrical right there. So look, $1.27. I know that he's also said if we get above that 220 mark, there's things could get very interesting. But you know what happens if you've been in this space and it gets over $1? Things get bullish AF really quickly. Right? So shout out to Eggrag Crypto for all his technical analysis and everything he does for all of us. And we will catch all of you in the Freedom Zone, because that's where we're going right now. Digperspectives.com. Click the Freedom Zone, a great way to support the channel for almost next to nothing, and come on in. And today we are going to be getting into that border we have down below against Mexico. And it's very interesting, the kind of people that are coming in there. And we're going to have to touch it today. Join us inside the Freedom Zone and come on in. All